Carowinds is a 407-acre amusement park primarily located in Charlotte, North Carolina. The park is currently owned and operated by Cedar Fair. Carowinds straddles the state line between North and South Carolina, adjacent to Interstate 77, with a portion of the park located in Fort Mills, South Carolina. Carowinds also features Carolina Harbor, a 27-acre water park that is included with park admission. Their annual events include the Halloween-themed Scarowinds and the Christmas-themed Winterfest. Carowinds was the brainchild of Earl Patterson Hall, who was inspired by Disneyland to create a unifying attraction for North and South Carolina. The park's name, a blend of Carolina and winds, reflects its original theme celebrating the region's history and culture. Despite construction delays, Carowinds opened its gates on March 31, 1973. The park's early years saw the introduction of classic attractions, some of which, like the Carolina Sky Tower and Carolina Gold Rusher, continued to delight visitors. The park's growth included the addition of roller coasters and themed areas, with their first roller coaster, Scooby-Doo, opening in 1975. For those looking to extend their visit, Carowinds offers on-site accommodations, such as a well-appointed hotel and a picturesque campground. This allows guests to turn their day of fun into a memorable getaway. Visitors have even more opportunities to enjoy the attractions and seasonal offerings. Although, I know all you guys want to hear about is the coasters, so let's get into my rankings. Wilderness Run. This E&F Miler coaster isn't bad at all. It just does what it's supposed to do. It's a very fun ride for kids or anyone who's afraid of heights. Kittyhawk. Okay, this is probably the worst Vekoma I've ever been on. Yeah, you heard that right. This ride struggles to stay aligned to the track. It causes a lot of shaking. Also, the restraints were just not very comfortable. But with that being said, this ride is still very popular for some reason for many families. Woodstock Express. Another PTC Woodstock Express coaster. This one is a bit better than the one at Kings Island, but not by much. It's really just a decent ride for the families. Hurler. I definitely would say this is probably the most boring roller coaster I've been on in a while. I genuinely don't even remember Hurler being that boring over at King's Dominion. This one has to be worse for me because I really did not enjoy this ride at all. I know everyone wants them to RMC it, but honestly this park needs a good wooden coaster. I think a GCI would be a better replacement. Ricochet. This is pretty much just like any other Mack Wild Mouse, nothing special, just a fun ride with a lot of laterals as per usual. Flying Cobras. This isn't a good Vekoma Boomerang or a bad one, it's just kind of meh. I think the ride would greatly benefit from new trains, as well as installing the new brakes in the station like Hershey did. Carolina Gold Rusher. Carolina Gold Rusher is an aerodynamics mine train that has 2 lifts and a tunnel. The ride is pretty good, but it does not stack up to rides like Adventure Express at Kings Island or Thunderation at Silver Dollar City. Vortex. While it's not the worst stand-up I've been on, it doesn't mean it's a great ride. It's kind of boring. I don't think floorless trains can fix this one, but you never know. Carolina Cyclone. A surprisingly fun little aero looper that provides some good G's and a massive amount of airtime in the front row. After you exit the vertical loops, you jump up over a hill and get absolutely flung out of your seat. This ride is a must-do if you're at the park. Nighthawk. I don't think this Vekoma Flying Dutchman is as bad as people say. Yes, it's a bit worse than Batwing, but it's not terrible. I'd say the part of this ride I didn't enjoy as much were the barrel rolls near the end. The ones on Batwing are not as rattly as on Nighthawk. I'd say don't sleep on this ride until you've tried it. Afterburn. One of the most intense B&Ms did not disappoint. The G's you feel on every inversion leaves you breathless after the ride. The Batwing is insane, and the corkscrew is beyond insane. This is definitely one of the best inverts out there, but my only problem with it is its re-rideability. After like 2 rides, I'd always get off with a headache, so you can only do so many rides at once. Intimidator. This B&M Hyper features their signature staggered seating trains. The ride is a decent length, and I didn't really feel the trims more than on any other B&M Hyper. I'd say it's an upper tier B&M Hyper, but barely. The airtime is good, but it's just good. It's nothing crazy, but this ride's definitely still a lot of fun regardless. Copperhead Strike. I was shocked when I rode this for the first time, because I had heard so many negative reviews of Copperhead Strike. I loved this ride. The hang time is nuts. There's good airtime when I was told the opposite. It's a long ride, which is a big deal for me. Overall, this ride really took me by surprise. Fury 325. One of the best coasters in the world and one of the tallest. This ride dominates the entire park. It's by far the best ride at Carowinds. I mean, it's in my top 10 coasters after all. This is one of the only B&Ms that genuinely wows me. I think this is a front row ride because the speed you feel up front is so exhilarating, and the twists and turns around the entrance really enhance the ride experience. Whether you're a thrill seeker looking to conquer the latest roller coaster, or a family in search of a day filled with laughter and joy, Carowinds is a destination that promises unforgettable moments. With its blend of exhilarating rides, water park fun, and a touch of Carolina heritage, Carowinds stands out as a premier amusement park in the United States. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.